Hello everyone. Now we will see the basics of international trade and agriculture marketing. Friends, as we know, we are talking about entrepreneurship, and in entrepreneurship also we are working for profit maximization, business purpose. So business can be possible in domestic market as well as in international market also. So when we are talking about interstate, interdistrict, intrastate trade, right, so that all comes under domestic market. In simple terms, we can say that whatever we are producing, whatever we are manufacturing, or what kind of services we have, we are selling to the customers who are living in our country. So that is what domestic market. Then many entrepreneurs, they are interested, and there is ample amount of scope, and government is also focusing on selling goods to the international market. So that is known as international trade. So in this session we will try to learn about some basic definitions and some of the basic fundamentals of international trade and agriculture marketing. So as we know, trade that include trade in goods, services, capital transfer or foreign investment also, right? And official trade statistics that measure the level month over the month and year over the year changes in total trade, exports and imports. So we will see different definitions. One is balance of trade. So what is balance of trade? So difference between the value of export and imports. So export, as we know, whatever we are sending from our country to another country, or whatever we are selling from our country to another country, that is known as export. And import is whatever we are importing or whatever we are buying from another countries, that is termed as import. And the difference between the value of export and import is known as what? Balance of trade. Then another definition is cartel. So cartel, it is an association of firm that attempts to regulate industry output. They are what? Association, trade association, and they will try to regulate the industry output. What will be the industry output? What will be the prices through what? Mutual agreement. So they are trade association determining industry output and price through mutual agreement, like OPEC. Right now we are reading in newspaper also that prices of oils, they are decided by OPEC, oil producing and export countries. They are the OPEC, and they are also known as cartel, and many trade associations are there around us, right? So they are termed as cartel. Then most favored nation. So many a time we have heard that America has given most favored nation to India, or India has withdrawn the most favored nation from Pakistan. So what is this most favored nation? So most favored nation, this clause is a level of status given to one country by another country, enforced by WTO, and a country grants this clause to another nation if it is interested in increasing trade with that country. That we are interested to increasing our trade with another country. So at that time we are giving most favored nation to the another country. Then quantitative restrictions. So they are the specific limits on the quantity or value of goods that can be exported or imported during a specific time period. That for this year or for specific this time, only this amount of quantity or this value of goods that can be exported or imported, that kind of restriction are termed as quantitative restriction. And an example is an import quota, where quantitative restriction on the level of import is imposed by a country, that only this quantity of or this amount it can be imported by this country, more than that we cannot import. Then tariff duty. So tariff duty are, they are tax imposed on imported goods and services. So whatever imported goods and services are there, On them tax is imposed, that is known as tariff duty. Then tariff. So tariff are used to restrict trade. As tariff increase the price of imported goods and services. As we know, okay, we are restricting trade, and through this tariff the prices of imported goods and services increases and making them more expensive for customers or consumers. As tariff is imposed, the prices will be increasing for customers, and specific tariff is levied as a fixed rate or fixed fee based on type of item. Also specific tariff is also there for specific items. Then quotas that limit value or volume of export. That what is the value or what will be the volume of export, that are decided by quota. Like an export quota of beef is established to guarantee adequate supply in domestic market, that this amount of beef will be exported and not more than that can be exported. Then tariff quotas. So tariff quotas, they may be differentiated for imported quota in a way that tariff quota that permit import of certain quantity of commodity duty free at a certain amount, that will be duty free at, or it may be lower rate also, while quantity exceeding than that quota subject to higher rate, while the import quota on other hand that restrict import absolutely. Then we will say about dumping. Dumping in international trade, that is export by a country or company of a product at price that is lower in foreign market than price charged in the domestic market. Suppose a country, they are exporting something to India. Suppose price of that specific product is 20 rupees in India, while the another country they will export to India at 10 rupees. So definitely we will buy product of 10 rupees. We will not buy product of our country. So that is what dumping. So what we should do to protect trade of our domestic player? We should do something for our business market also. So we are going for anti-dumping. So anti-dumping duty is what? It is a protectionist tariff that a domestic government imposes on foreign import, that is below or price below fair market value. So dumping is a process where company export a product at price lower than the price it normally charges on its home market. So ultimately, if we have imported at 10 rupees and our companies or domestic player they are selling at 20 rupees, so government will impose anti-dumping duty on them, right, of 10 rupees. So that product can also be sold at 20 rupees only. So there will be good competition and a customer will buy based on quality, and there will be protection of domestic players also through anti-dumping duty. Then friends, as we know, for entrepreneurship also, or for entrepreneurs also, they are competing in open market, right? So for them it is essential to understand the basics of marketing. So we will say something about marketing. So marketing is all about what? Identifying and meeting human and social needs profitably. So first of all, we are identifying need, whether that need may be social, human or other, and we are meeting that needs profitably. So first and foremost thing is to identify need, then only we can be successful. It is not that without identifying the need or without a market research we should enter in any business. So before entering any business, market research is important, and marketing is key element in success of any business. Then we will see the definition of marketing. So marketing, it is an organizational function, and it is not a single process, it is a set of processes. For what? When we are talking about marketing or we are selling something, so we are selling what? Value to the customer. Suppose we are giving mobile or we are giving good service, so ultimately we are selling them something and customer is paying for that. So we are selling what? Value. So marketing, it is an organizational function and set of processes, not a single process, it is a set of processes of what? Creating value. Then we are creating value. we are identifying that this is the need of our customer, then we are communicating to our company, and our company will make product based on that value, then we are communicating that value. So after making that product, we should make our customer aware that we have made product for them and that is valuable product. So ultimately we should communicate our value, and after communicating we should deliver that value to the customer so that customer will purchase, or purchase can be easy for the customers. And we are also managing customer relationship. Why we should manage customer relationship? Because customers, they are giving us money. So customer relationship we are managing in a way that benefit the organization and its stakeholder. So marketing is all about, it is an organizational function and set of processes of creating, communicating and delivering value to the customer, and managing customer relationship in a way that benefit the organization and its stakeholders. Now the definition of marketing management. So marketing management is what? Marketing management, it is the art and science of choosing target markets. So suppose we are talking about India. So as an entrepreneur, we cannot enter in whole India. So we should select that in which market we will enter, and that we will decide on based on many factors, geographical factor, demographic factor and many. So we will select that we will enter in Gujarat, and in Gujarat also specific 2-3 districts are there, we will enter in that market. So it is the art and science of choosing the target market. Then we are getting customer, and after getting, we are keeping that customers with us, and even for profit maximization we are growing more and more customers through what? Creating value, communicating value and delivering superior customer value. So this is what? Marketing management. It is the art and science of choosing target market, then getting, keeping and growing customers through creating, communicating and delivering superior customer value. Then something about agriculture marketing. So marketing is done in agriculture field also. It is not that agricultural field does not have marketing. Marketing is very important element in agriculture sector also, but it is not the same case before many years or after independence. In countries like India, as we know, we were not self-sufficient. We were importing food grains from other countries, and that food grains were also of very low quality. Thanks to green revolution, that we are now able to feed our population, and even we are ranking in first few numbers in many of the commodities. So at that time when we were not self-sufficient, emphasis was given only on production purpose, that we should produce so and so quality, we should use so and so quality input, we should use fertilizer, chemicals, and ultimately we should increase our production. But no one was talking about agriculture marketing. But agriculture marketing is also important as agriculture production, and according to National Commission on Agriculture, they also said that it is not enough to produce a crop or animal product, it must be satisfactorily marketed. So when marketing is added to agriculture, it becomes agriculture marketing. And agriculture marketing, it is a linkage between farm sector and non-farm sector. Whatever farm sector is there and non-farm sector are there, it is a linkage between them. So definition of agriculture marketing is, it comprises of all activities involved in the supply of farm input. As we know, suppose you are a farmer, so you need quality input, and input includes everything: seed, fertilizer, chemicals, water, credit, electricity. So it comprises of all activities involved in supply of farm input to the farmers and movement of agriculture products from farmer to the customer. Then after production, the produce is moved from farmer to the consumer. So it includes two major systems, subsystem: product marketing, ultimately whatever we have produced and how we are doing marketing of that product, and another is input marketing, how we are procuring, how we are purchasing input. So producer are there, middlemen are there, ultimately it reaches to the customer in product marketing. So in agriculture marketing, from where the role of marketing comes? So when we are deciding what to produce, or what is the demand, or which kind of commodity is have, or which kind of commodities have more demand in market, so from that point of time the role of marketing comes. So role of marketing starts right from the time of decision what to produce, which variety to produce, and how to prepare the product for marketing. Rather than, generally we were talking about when the harvesting is over, we will sell to whom, where we will sell, and through whom we will sell. Generally we were talking about that, but agriculture marketing is all about identifying what customers need and how we can make our product marketable so that we can get better profit. Then when we are talking about agricultural goods and another goods, so agriculture goods or agriculture sector that is that have specific characteristics, that we cannot compare tomato or potato with blackboard or TV or refrigerator. Both are having different characteristics. So which are the specific characteristics of agriculture sector? One is perishability of the product. As we know, agriculture product, they are perishable in nature, and perishability is also very much different based on crop. Suppose we are talking about tomato, we are talking about wheat, we are talking about oil seeds. So different crops, they are having different kind of perishability, and that's why marketing is important, and also the processing is also important in case of agriculture sector. Then seasonality of production. We cannot produce mango throughout the year, right? Or we cannot get wheat throughout the year. There is seasonality of production, that for some specific time period only we will get that produce, but we need that product or that produce throughout the year. So what we will do, we will store them, we will process them, right? So it is also important that seasonality is there, so we should go for processing, storage, warehousing. Then bulkiness of the product. As we know, the agriculture product are too bulky in nature, so transportation is also difficult, and it is an issue in agriculture marketing also, because the product are bulky in nature. Then as we know, there is a huge variation in quality of products. So whatever is produced in agriculture sector, that is having different kind of qualities. That's why grading and sorting is important, that we should grade or we should sort the produce as per the quality. Then the supply is also irregular in nature. As we know, in India mainly the agriculture sector is rain fed, so it is depending upon rainy condition, rainy days, as well as the weather condition also. Now the weather is changing, so we cannot assure that what will be the actual output or what will be the actual supply. That's why it affects prices also for many commodities. Then in Indian agriculture, the land holding of farmers, it is very small, and production is also very scattered. So due to small land holding, the production is limited, and customers or farmers bargaining power is very low. That's why the role of organizations like cooperatives, farmer producers organizations, they are important to increase the bargaining power of farmers also. And whatever the different farmers they are producing, they are also having different qualities. Their package of practices are different, their produce or their product quality is also different, so it also create problem, and it requires to go for sorting, grading also. Then processing. As we know, many of the agriculture products that cannot be consumed in raw form, right? They require processing. Like suppose you want to use wheat, we cannot consume raw wheat, we need to process it into flour or maida or anything, right? So that's why processing is important for agriculture sector. So friends, this is something about the basics of marketing and agriculture marketing and international trade. We will see the next part of this chapter in next session. Thank you very much.